Alrighty, so today I'm going to be doing a video talking about the Doctor Who episode Star Beast. And if you can tell, I'm a Doctor Who fan. Just stick around real quick. I'm gonna do a little bit of an intro, but we'll get right into it really quick. And trust me, it's a fun time. We'll chill. We'll be fine. So, yeah. So I like Doctor Who a lot. I started watching classics recently. I finally got the patience for it, and yeah, obviously. I mean, look what I'm playing right now. Doctor Who mod pack in Minecraft. And it's just gonna be the gameplay, background gameplay that I'm gonna be doing while talking about this. The only thing I did was remove the Weeping Angels from this mod pack just because they're annoying. But yeah, okay. So, Star Beast. Fucking dog shit. Beginning. Like, we're gonna hop right into it. I'm gonna hit you with some truth bombs. The start of that episode fucking sucks. I hate it. So, in filmmaking, no, I'm not gonna say that because that sounds like in filmmaking. I study film. No, it's just you show your audience shit instead of just telling them shit straight out. Because when you tell them shit straight out, it doesn't feel as satisfying to watch. It's kind of bleh. Like, I don't know. Arcane's popular. I just watched the first episode recently, so I'm gonna use that as an example. Entire first scene. Fucking no audio. Or no, there is audio, but it's not. There's no words spoken. You just kind of figure it out, and you're able to tell. Oh, that's and a little bit of spoilers, but whatever. It's literally the first scene of the show. You're able to see. Oh, this guy killed this person, and this person happened to be their mom, and like we can see, like it affects them, and then he takes them in because he feels bad. It tells them about their past, his character. It just informs the audience on a lot of things without saying a single word. Now, Doctor Who Star Beast episode. I've only watched one of the 60th anniversary specials so far. Yeah, but Star Beast episode begins right off the bat. Fuck, I'm stupid. Begins right off the fucking bat with hard exposition. We got the 14th Doctor just standing in front of like a black screen. Well, not black screen, changes a bit, but he's standing in front of a screen, a green screen, and it's doing stuff in the background, and it's shit. I don't like it. Because he just explains the Dr. Donna and that situation. And then that's cut with Donna basically being like, oh, I feel like something's missing from my life. And, you know, and she's upset about that. Or no, she doesn't understand what she's missing because she loves, like, her husband and her daughter. And it just feels strange. And she feels like the dreams are coming back again. And they're getting stronger. And, she feels like something's coming. Right? Fucking literally, if you cut out that beginning portion, as long as you watched the whole Dr. Donna thing, you won't or you watched like the 10th Doctor season with Donna in it, and you watch that whole thing, you will not have a single fucking issue. Even if you haven't watched it recently, well, that's the intention. You haven't watched it recently, so they want to be on the nose with it. But if you want to be on the nose with it, there's several ways to do this. Like, I don't know, just be like previously on, and you could show just clips of that happening. Now, if you really want to go hard, because it's super, it's yeah. If you really want to go hard, and this is only acceptable because it's the 60th anniversary, so it's labeled as a special. You could just have it so there, and in these specials they are going to talk about the Doctor's like past in the New Who series, right? So you could have the previously on be it speeds through, slows down, or speeds through like clips of the show, slows down at important moments like his regeneration and death of companions, and then when we get to the Dr. Donna, it slows down on the creation of the Dr. Donna and slows down when he's taking that away from her. And then we get like regeneration of 10, death of Amy, regeneration of 11, death of Clara, regeneration of 12, death of Bill. You get my point. So doing that would kind of like work for the 60th anniversary, but even if you didn't, even if they felt like that would be too much, literally just being like previously on, and then showing the whole Dr. Donna arc, just in like little clips, short clips, like they do with previously ons. So right off the bat, bad start. I'm not gonna harp on it too much more because I've been talking about it for a little while now, but it's kind of bad. Um, it sets a bad tone. So he lands, he's chilling. Oh shit! There. Hang on, let me just check. So he lands in like just this random spot, and he runs into Donna really quick, and he's confused, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And it becomes a whole thing of like, "Oh, fate's bringing us together. That's why I have this face back." And what was it? That could still make sense. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. I haven't watched any reviews on this, by the way, so I'm just thinking of things that could work in the plot and things that might not work in the plot. But the way I kind of rationalized it was the whole 10th Doctor thing with the Dr. Donna. Um, the whole 10th Doctor thing with the Dr. Donna, they were slowly moving towards the end of the season, right? And they were, or the season finale of the Dr. Donna being created, and you got the heartbeat and all that, and it's all kind of like inching towards it, like time has wanted this to happen, and they basically are just, they literally say, I think, that the event that caused the Dr. Donna sent ripples through time, which has been drawing, or has been changing the universe basically for this situation to happen. And that's like the whole thing of it. So at the end of the spoilers for Star Beast, obviously, but at the end of the Star Beast episode, Donna becomes the Dr. Donna again, like fully. So I could rationalize it as, oh, okay, so the time was basically calling for it to happen, or was moving around again because it wanted to happen again, or however it's explained, like, or rationalized. It happened, so the universe kind of formed around it like it did last time. But um, it's shit. What was I saying? Man, I am like all over the place. Oh yeah. So they see each other again, and he's like, I have to get out of here. So but he can't resist. He's curious. So he goes to a taxi, and it turns out to be Donna's husband. It's been a little bit since I watched the episode. It's gonna be a bit wonky, but it goes to Donna's husband, and he basically gives us the rundown of Donna's life. And yeah, I think then we have some stuff with Unit and the Doctor, but then we also have, I think, following that in terms of important stuff. There is the scene. Hang on, got long hair. There's the scene where Donna goes into the room with, or Donna and Rose. Rose is the name of her daughter. Are going into the here. So Donna and Rose, her daughter, are going into her house, and some people come by and they're like, "Oh, you transgender, you," and they're all mean about it. And Donna's like, "Oh, don't worry about them. Just ignore them. They bitches." I'm gonna go somewhere else so you guys don't have to deal with this annoying sound. But they bitches. Don't worry about them. Just you and me, girly. And then she goes inside, and then Rose is like, "Okay, I'm gonna go head to my shed, my little shed that looks like the fucking, or has like a TARDIS pit." Well, we'll get to that. That's at the end of the episode. You have to wait. Because that's gonna be the most fun part of the review. Because I'm pissed about that. But so we go, and we're inside, and then Rose goes outside, and then we get the scene that has been pretty controversial. So I'll just put more time on it. But the mom, or Donna's mom, after leaves, Donna's mom asks, like, I never know what. I did rewatch this scene recently. I never know what to say, like, with, like, calling her gorgeous or handsome, because, like, she's a guy, or she was a guy, or now she's a girl, and, like, she's confused about it. And Donna is like, you know, I love her, and she is gorgeous and amazing, and the scene's written better than I'm describing it, but it's a good scene. I don't like that it ends up being controversial because it's a legitimately, like, good scene. It tells us a lot. It tells us, um, fucking. So it informs us about, like, Donna's character, like, and how much she loves her daughter. She just doesn't care, and then she gives a little speech where she's like, "Oh, she grows into this amazing, wonderful person." Like, just watch the scene and you'll understand the context a bit more. But, like, it tells us how much Donna cares for her daughter, and it's a pretty important scene, and I think it's executed well because it creates the framework to set up that Donna loves her daughter so much and will, like, do anything for her, which then the payoff is she's willing to die at the end just to save her daughter. She doesn't care about, like, the rest of London. She just cares about her daughter. Um, Fucked up, doesn't give a shit about the husband, but no, I think she does. It's her family, but this won't be the whole time of the gameplay. Like, I'll do something else. I'm just flying right now. So it forms on our character, and then we get to see, what was it? Oh yeah, and it works great as a scene because that's the framework. Fuck me. I'm so sorry. Don't leave. But that's the framework of the scene. To inform us on that, and it works well because they are very real questions. Like, that's something that someone of the mom's age would ask, and someone Donna's age probably, like, would be more combative to the idea, or traditionally would be more combative to the idea. But she's not, because she loves her daughter so much. She doesn't have an issue with it, and she's very, very accepting. And the mom's accepting, she just doesn't understand it. And from what's implied, Donna doesn't really. For Donna, it doesn't really matter whether she understands it or not. It's just flat out, she loves her daughter. And I think it's a good scene. That's all there is really to say about it. I fucking hate how it's, like, being pushed as, like, oh, this trans propaganda scene, or whatever the fuck. It's like, come on, it's a character scene. It's a character building scene. But then we go into the shed, or no. Then the other piece of the spaceship crashes, and there's the meep. Yeah, meep. So this is the meep, and the meep runs away, and it hides, and everyone goes to see the ship crash, and Rose goes to see it. And on Rose's way home, she sees the meep, and it's like, ooh, help me, I have a cut, and, I'm all nice and shit. It's gonna be a plot twist. Get ready for that one. But meep acts all nice, and then she hides it in her shed, and she shows it off her stuffed animals, and we'll get to why, like, we'll get to, like, some of the shit of that later. I'll have to rewatch the scene at some point. But the shed is, quote unquote, really important. Fucking. Bleh. Then Donna comes in, and she's like, no secrets, And there's a little keep out sign on the door, which we'll get to that. Oh, you'd be surprised, or maybe not. But we'll fucking get to the keep out sign for some fucking reason. I don't know. Yeah. We'll get to the keep out sign for some fucking reason. So we go to, where is it? Oh yeah. So Donna goes in, sees the meep, and then they're all, like, in the yard now, and the mom comes out and is like, that's not real, because the mom, like, we see, like, she desperately doesn't want Donna to remember because she knows it will kill her. And that's good that we know that. We see that she has been worried about that for so long, and she's just constantly trying to shelter Donna from it. And she doesn't need to, because fucking Donna has oblivious personality disorder, we'll call it OBD, I guess. But so we're there, and then the doctor comes in, and or no, the father comes in and sees all the commotion, and then the doctor comes in and sees all the commotion, and we start getting the situation more sorted, and then the big like aliens come in, and then we get to the next problem that I have. I'm kind of like going to the story. This will really only make sense if you watch the episode, but then in the scene, now we saw earlier, skip past it, but earlier we saw the doctor take out the sonic screwdriver and use it to make a light screen just in front of him, like spin in midair. I don't know how I feel about that. Because I feel like when you do that, it takes away a bit of like the intelligence of it. Like, he has a screen to organize his thoughts, and I like the doctor being more like raggedy and all that. And like he has everything gathered in his head, and he's just moving with it. I don't even remember the purpose of the screen. I think they were just digging around. I just don't remember what the fuck it was used for. But these screens that you're about to hear, oh boy, they were used for fucking something. So they're in there, and they have to figure out how to get out of the house, because there's like gunfire coming from two ways in the hallway, and they're all like sitting around. Oh, missed it. So after the fuck me, I'm sorry. So after the commotion, oh, we're landing. After the commotion, they all go into a room together, and they sit down and they start talking. And the doctor starts talking to the Meep, and the doctor asks like, "What's its?" That's rough. Okay, so the doctor asks, "What's its?" or assumes it's a he, and yeah, and then Rose, girl, is like, "You assume its gender? Can't be doing that. What is your gender, Meep?" Now, I present this in a way that makes me seem like I don't like the scene, and here's the thing. Don't click off, trust me. So, I think that's fine. I think that her asking the gender of the Meep is fine, because it wasn't the mom, it wasn't Donna asking it, it wasn't the mom asking it, it wasn't the dad asking it. Or if it was Donna asking it, you could do it with the right inflection. But Rose asked it, and that makes sense. That works for her character, because somebody in that LGBTQ community, you could imagine asking that question. While, like other characters, you may not be able to imagine them asking that question. So it makes sense. I don't feel like that's forced. I feel like that's very, very real for like how like certain people like interact with the world, and that they would ask the gender of an alien. I don't have an issue with that. And then he says Meep. Oh fuck. And then he's like, "Refer to me as Meep. I am Meep. Meep, 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 meep." And it's like, "Oh yeah, Meep." And then they sort everything out, and then we get the light screen scene that pissing me right the fuck off. So the doctor looks at down the hallway and is like, how would I solve the situation? So instead of the doctor being clever or figuring out how to do the thing or anything like that, or like figuring out a way around it, you get away. Instead, we get an oh so lovely scene where he uses the sonic screwdriver to make squares in the fucking air that, two, well, no, one, and then he grabs it and he slides it in the hallway, and then he grabs the second one and he does the same thing. And boy howdy, I just have to fucking ask. For one, he puts the light screen there and they just fucking leave it. Or not leave it. They just like continue firing. They don't do anything, they don't change anything, they don't move up. The bullets are clearly being stopped by it. What the fuck are you guys doing? What? Like, what? Why are you just like continuing to do the same thing? And then after he gets two, I'm gonna sleep for a bit, but after he gets two, nice and lined up, nice and just, they all walk through, and the guys continue shooting even though both of them are searching for the meep. I think no, one's just normal unit. It's not the mind controlled unit. But the bug guys, big bug guys, they're looking for the fucking meep, and they just watch the meep walk across, and they do not give a fuck. They do not give a single shit. You know, even if you've never seen a human before, I feel like it'd be really hard to mistake a human for a meep. You know, be like, oh man, I'm like, the only thing I can imagine is they were just like, small person, small hairy boy. So that's fucking stupid. But then they go upstairs, and then the doctor is like, you know, the sonic screwdriver is really good at resonating concrete. And then the Donna's husband says something that's like, that's not concrete. It's not nice. Okay. He says something like, oh, well, that's not concrete. It's plaster, or whatever. That's fine. But more so, what pisses me off about that fucking line is the doctor at that point is clearly not giving a flying fuck about reminding Donna about like him. He literally looks at her and is like, the sonic screwdriver is great at resonating concrete. Just doesn't give a fuck. Which does bother me. Like, clearly. Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, right, I needed... Right. Yeah. So he clearly doesn't give a fuck. Or not clearly. It's just... It's not that he doesn't give a fuck. It's that the writers just didn't give a fuck, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird line, considering the context. But then we get a line of... Oh yeah, no. So we have that line where he tells us that it's gonna resonate the concrete, which pisses me right the fuck off. Not just because of what I already said, but also because why the fuck do we need the doctor to explain that the sonic screwdriver will resonate concrete, even though, but he did need to explain that he can make fucking bulletproof light walls all of a sudden with the sonic screwdriver. That would have been very useful information to know sooner. I don't know where the fuck that ability came from. It's not ever, like, it was never brought up before. But here we are. He just randomly has that, and that they didn't feel a need to explain that, but they felt a need to explain the sonic screwdriver resonating concrete, even though, like, resonation has to do with, like, sound, or sound waves, or waves in general, right? And the sonic screwdriver is obviously gonna be good at emitting waves and sound waves. So that's not a stretch. If he just did that, I'd be fine with it. It's the fucking light bulletproof barriers that he's never used before that need a bit of an explanation. Hell, he could even been like, the Sonic seems to have gotten a firmware update, which is a minor thing that bothers me. He just didn't mention that he has a new Sonic now. The Doctor having new clothes is fine. Like, it was established with River, like River's song, that when time regenerates, if they focus, they can change their clothes. So like that's fine. Because like it's clearly a subconscious doing something at this point, right, or some shit. But like the sonic screwdriver like usually gets, even 13 did it right. So with 9 and 10 sonic screwdriver to 11 sonic screwdriver, 10 the sonic screwdriver got destroyed while the doctor was like using out a bunch of stuff. Like it was overused, and then he got a new one. And with the 11 to 12 sonic screwdriver, it didn't happen immediately, but eventually he did get a new one. I don't remember if it got I'm gonna slow down a little. Sorry, I don't remember if it got destroyed. But then with 12 sonic screwdriver to 13s in the first episode, it got fucked up or something. Got like taken by the little thing, and that it's a forgettable fucking time. And then she had to make her own. Okay, so we have a clear explanation for some of them. 12 is the only one we don't have an explanation, but that's made up for in the fact that he was the doctor for a long time. And there might be an explanation that I just forgot. Fuck. But with 13 to 14, he just suddenly had a full sonic screwdriver. And we didn't even see him like pick it up, cause like him having a new sonic screwdriver would be fine, just cause like, I mean, the old one was made of spoons. You could just be like, oh well, TARDIS didn't like that. You could have like a cute little scene with it too, but I'm not gonna push my ideas about that. So he just has new sonic. Small pet peeve, or small nitpick, not too big of a deal, because like he was in the TARDIS, so like it makes sense that he could get it. But yeah, point is, there's no real explanation for why the sonic screwdriver can suddenly do these new things, like create a screen for viewing and a light screen for blocking bullets. And then we got, sorry, this is not very concise, but fuck it, hopefully you're having fun with me. We're chilling, and we're vibing. I'm just gathering my thoughts real quick. So then they go through there. He resonates concrete, and then they walk through the attics of a bunch of buildings to get to the dad's car. I think his name's Sean. I'm gonna call him Sean if I'm wrong. Tough shit, I guess. But so they go Sean, the black guy, the black husband of Donna. But they go Sean's car, and they make it there. And while they're going away, they get shot at by the big bug aliens. And there's no damage. And at first, like, I was like, man, that's fucking lazy. They just didn't give a shit. They even had scorch marks. But then apparently that was the plot. That was intended. And the doctor like gets out of the car in a parking garage, and he's like, court's in session now, and he whips out a fucking he whips out like the fucking wig out of his fucking coat, and it's goofy, and I love it. That scene's pretty fun, and he like does a whole like court scene. It's a fun scene, and it reveals like, ooh, he's evil, ooh, plot twist. I'm down with that. It's fun little scene. And then all the Meeps minions come in, the Meep gets away, and a bit fuzzy on the details here, so yeah, but just braining right now. So we go to the main headquarters, right? We go to the main headquarters of the not the main headquarters. We go to the spaceship. We go to the big bad's space. Not the big bad. We go to the Meep spaceship. He's a little bad. He's a little boy. He's a little bitch. He's a fun guy though. So we go to the Meep spaceship, and they do something. Like they're all captured, and then they do something to make their escape, right? Oh no, the doctor and Donna get captured, and then Donna's family gets away, I think. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like they all end up at the place. I guess. um. So they all end up at the place. It's chill, I guess. And then while they're there, uh, the next important scene is right, fucking wheelchair lady. So they're all making the break for it from the building, but the doctor has to go back and stop the rocket because the Meep's trying to take off, and they're using something called like a rift drive or some shit that completely destroys a planet in order to charge the engines of the rocket. And the idea is, or not the idea. So the doctor has to go and save them. So the doctor's like, "All right, Donna, you go with your family. You run away, get out of here. I'll deal with it." But but Donna closed the door on all of them and then catches up to the doctor in the ship. And then she ends up standing there like a fucking idiot. And she's like, "Let me help." And the doctor's just trying to do everything. And then, next stupid fucking thing in the episode. So, my problem is their problem solving in the scene. So, I'm gonna explain the scene to you real quick. So, basically, what happens is it's a room and like there's buttons and dials all over the room, and the doctor has to press a bunch of them to do a bunch of stuff to then stop the rocket. And then this glass fucking thing divider comes in the middle of the room, and it's just like, damn, I can't do it anymore because this thing is here. But Donna's on the other side of the room. And then we have a scene where she wants to help, but the doctor is like resistant to it because it will kill her. And then he tells her that, and she's fine with that. And I'm gonna be really fucking honest. It's a really good scene, and like it's like really nice, or not nice, but it's a sad scene where she's like willing to give up her life for her family, and honestly, I was happy with it. It was a fucking like I almost cried during that shit. It's a good scene. But then, so he activates the Doctor Donna, and then they like do all the stuff, and then she lies on the ground dead. But then the Meeps minions come in and they threaten the Doctor and whatnot. And then cuts to a bunch of buttons being pressed. And ho ho ho, it's Rose doing that. And she knows sci-fi words all of a sudden. I'm gonna stop right there because I'm gonna complain about that separately. So, the divider in the room, the glass divider in the room, fucking lazy ass idea. Here's what they wanted to do. They wanted to have an emotional moment where the Doctor has to visually confront Donna while at the same time talking to her, and Donna has to make the choice. And all the acting in that scene is very well done, and it quote unquote requires that environment to be done that way. It doesn't. The rocket ship has multiple floors. How I think it would have been done better, or would have been better to do, is by having... Fuck, my brain's not gonna brain this. Right. I'll figure it out. Anyway, so, a way it would have been done better is by having there be an extra floor that... Or an extra floor, and there's like a ladder connecting them, and you got like a metal thing, or even stairs connecting them, whatever. Something connecting them. And then he's trying to go up to the Meep. Door closes like it does normally, and then he has to run between those two floors in order to get everything done. While Donna's on the bottom floor, the Doctor's on the top floor, and then a thing closes, and then after the thing, like the door between those two floors closes, then he has to like talk to Donna like through the like shielding of like between the floors. And it would be thinner there, and you can hear through it because it's like a movable thing. This and no, I'll go to that. So this effectively does the same thing because he still has to talk to Donna and he still has to like make the decision, and they both have to make the decision to activate the Doctor Donna to then have to then save the city. That works better because it makes sense. Like you could imagine like that the ship would have segregated things like that in that way. And if you want to still have the Doctor have to look at Donna, because that was an important part of the scene, to have the Doctor look at Donna to like when he's thinking and we can see him thinking, we could have a screen on the floor that he's on that's showing the other floor. Sure, maybe that wouldn't make a ton of sense. No, that would make more sense than the glass screen barrier. The glass screen barrier does not make any fucking sense to have at all. It just does not. It's stupid. It's a fucking stupid idea. And having the screen thing that I just mentioned, like the video screen on the floor the Doctor's on while he's making the decision, would work better in a little bit of a meaning sense, because then we would, because the idea of that scene is Donna is oblivious to what's wrong, while the Doctor does know, and it's happening in his head, and he has to make the decision for the most part. So having it on the screen would be adding to the obliviousness to it. It would work well for the scene. It'd be good. Like, it'd be cool. Well, not cool, but it'd be creative. It'd be a creative way with dealing with the scene in the space while keeping the space make sense. But they didn't do that. They just flat out, they didn't do that. Instead, we have a stupid fucking glass divider. Now, the next thing I have a really big issue with, because the ending is the worst part of this episode. I know I really harped on like how shit the beginning exposition was, but the ending here is like really dog shit. So, in the end, we're gonna go back to that button pressing part. So she's pressing the buttons and she's doing sci-fi stuff. And then we get exposition. Really fucking hard exposition of just, it's like, oh yeah, I'm also part Dr. Donna. And then she explains why. And then the Doctor and Donna also explain why. And it's done like very poorly. They just start explaining stuff, and then it's like, oh, well, it was in the back of her head all along. It was showing through in her stuffed animals, because Rose makes stuffed animals, and then she cuts to a bunch of stuffed animals that look vaguely like Doctor Who villains. Problem is, some of them are way too vague, and another problem, none of them were accentuated. At the start of the episode, with the Meep going into the shed, like I mentioned, the Meep is holding some stuffed animals. None of the stuffed animals that the Meep is holding, nor that Rose gives or picks up, look like Doctor Who villains. The ones that they show are random. So, are like just random little stuffed animals. This ends up giving the vibe that they didn't really think it out, and it was like, it feels more after the fact. Even if it isn't, even if they had it planned out, it feels more after the fact, because all the hints in the shed were not shown to the viewer. Or at least if they were very background when they did not need to be background. You could have had them in some way like shown off. Not like obviously, but you could have had the Meep hold them instead of holding a random one. Instead of holding random ones. I mean, hey, if I'm wrong about that part, fucking hit me within the comments. I would love it. All one person watching this, but it's something that really bothers me because they didn't bother to set it up at all. And then, I mentioned the keep out sign earlier. Well, the keep out sign falls off while they're giving the exposition of, oh, this is how it makes sense. And then it shows that the door to the shed looks like a TARDIS. Like it has like blue paint with the white windows. And it's all explaining to the viewer, oh, this is why it makes sense. 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 Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want you to tell me why it makes sense. What I expect is it happens and then she's like, "Oh yeah, like just a single line like the metacrisis passed on through generations." And maybe when the Donna did the whole like regeneration thing, like with all the gold glow coming out of her when the Dr. Donna reactivated, maybe we could have seen Rose get hit with it, and maybe she like falls over, and then when we're in this like moment, then it gets like, oh shit, Rose is doing something. Anything. The problem is they push way too hard for it to be a twist and don't have anything to back it up because of it. They didn't give the viewer any hints because they didn't want the viewer to expect it, which then makes it so in the narrative it doesn't make sense, or as much sense as it could have, and it doesn't feel satisfying to see as a viewer because you couldn't have seen it coming. Let's say hypothetically. Oh yeah, no, sorry. What I expect as a viewer is when I watch this episode a second time, I'll be able to look at certain things and be like, "Oh shit, that's right." But the problem is, the keep out sign is over that fucking door. The keep out sign is over over the fucking TARDIS like thing with the blue and the white windows. If it wasn't, then when you're rewatching the episode and you're thinking about that without all that like expository bullshit, when you're thinking about that, then you see it and you're like, oh, okay. So like she was letting it out, and you could show it very, very obviously because it could be explained as the show referencing itself. It could be seen at the start as something that's like, oh, that looks kind of like a Dalek, because they are very vaguely shown. So it's like, oh, that kind of looks like a Dalek out of its thing. Oh, that kind of looks like a Cyberman. Oh, that kind of looks like this. But they didn't do that. They wanted to keep it such a fucking secret, and it ended up like being dog shit, and that bothers me. So she does the thing, and then Rose fixes everything, and then it's like, oh, Donna's not actually dead. It's just fucking. Okay, wait, let me organize my inventory. But no, it's like, oh, Donna's not actually dead. It's just, you see, she had more time because Rose, Rose and her split up the meta crisis, so it's fine. It's like, all right, fucking great, I guess. Okay, it works. No, it doesn't work. Like, it's just kind of, well, no. That explanation does work. It's just unsatisfying because of how it's presented within the episode. I would have liked it if it wasn't for that. If it had like better presentation and it was more of a payoff. What happens next? Oh yeah. So then everything's solved. The Meep gets arrested or taken back to be like fucking neutered. I don't know. He's fucked. Oh wait, no. He goes up to the escape pod thing, and then the doctor does something and comes back, right? Or does the doctor do nothing and he just gets away? Fuck it. I don't know. I don't really care. This is something about evil mastermind, evil villain, and it's all wrapping up. And then the doctor's like, oh, well, now I have to fix you guys because the Dr. Don's activated. That's bad. And then Rose. Oh. Rose is like, well, you see, Doctor. You, as a male posing Time Lord, wouldn't understand this. You really are a downgrade from your female form. You know that. Even though like the doctor, or even though Donna and the Doctor Donna should have no fucking idea that the doctor was a woman because that wasn't told to Donna whatsoever, and that wasn't told to fuck. Hang on, I may have been talking too quietly, but even though the Doctor Donna and Donna should not have known that. Because from Donna's perspective, he was 10 and he's still 10. She never saw him regenerate. She never was told that he regenerated. Nobody implied to her or Rose that the doctor had regenerated. That's bad. Obviously. So they just forgot about that. That's like a bit of a nitpick, but it's, I don't know. Like, it bothers me. But as a male opposing Time Lord, you don't know. We have more power than you, you see. You fucking idiot. We can just let go because we are women and we are better. And they do. And then and then Rose and Donna just like sit there a bit, and then like they emit like gold, and then it goes around, and like during the scene where like all the gold was coming off them, and like it was going all everywhere, I could just feel I could just feel who the fucking writers and directors, or not even directors. I could feel the director just standing there, like fucking just jerking off, just fucking taking both hands and just really fucking ragging his knob, as he was just going fucking ham, like, oh yeah, oh that's empowering. Oh my god, women are gonna feel so fucking empowered. Oh yeah. And that's it. That's the episode. Oh wait, no, it's not. Then we get the more wrap up where they just like go back to the TARDIS, and then Donna's like, I really shouldn't go with you again. I'm gonna, and then she does, and then she spills coffee on the console, and then shit freaks out, and then next episode. But I haven't watched that yet. Biggest problem with the episode, well, aside from other things, but a huge problem with just the Sorry for the like kind of boring gameplay. Like I'm gonna continue to review a little bit, but like sorry for the kind of boring gameplay. I've just been kind of focusing my thoughts. It's more of like a you and me are talking, except you don't have a voice and you just have to like listen to me. But I'm chilling. But the worst part about the episode was the concept. Going back and fixing Donna. Removing the consequence of the Dr. Donna. I don't think that was a good idea. I don't think it was a good idea to bring 10 back either. Because they tried to do the bullshit of, oh, well, it's for a reason. Oh, but as a writer, you have complete control over the universe. So there's no real reason. So the real reason is the show's numbers are dropping. You can see like viewers by season, and you can see that the 13th Doctor is the lowest the show's viewer count is, or has been for the entirety of New Who, and the viewership numbers are like pretty much the same as it was back when the 7th Doctor ended. So like they're clearly like dropping, and they're like, oh, we know, let's bring 10 back, because if you look at those numbers, 10 had the highest. 10 and 4 had the highest viewership numbers. All of 10 had like the highest New Who. So they brought him back because of that, and it feels lazy. I like it. And that's it. Yeah, that's the review. So I hope you enjoyed. I've been a bit rambly here. You can leave now. Just like subscribe, I guess. Subscribe if you liked it, of course. If you want to come back, comment how you feel about the episode. Yeah, I want to hear other people's thoughts. I want to like conversate, especially since like I'm gonna have such a small viewership. I have a little conversation. So you can go now. I'm just going to do a bit of an after bit. So here's the thing that like really bothers me about the episode. Wait, no. Yeah, yeah, just that whole thing. Like it feels lazy. I don't like it. Like use that new doctor. Genuinely just do better. Like they're not. It's like they're just pumping out dog shit. Um oh yeah, right. I was doing an outro. So yeah, like, subscribe. Um Come around again to the channel if you enjoyed it. I know like I was a bit rambly with this whole thing. Um but I am like a very all over the place person. The gameplay was boring, but I kind of just wanted to have the environment of, hey, I'm doing something, and if you want to like come and like hear my opinion, that's cool. And I was trying to leave like all my thoughts out there, and if you agree with them, that's cool. Have a good day. Have a good Christmas. What's it? It's the fucking. It's the 11th. Have a good Christmas. Merry Poppins. Peace.